stare into the eyes of the beloved, oftentimes we get a glimpse of the one. Now, that is a seed image that was very important for me in the cosmic, universal selves that I've been attempting to portray in my artwork. It's become a bit of the grail for me. If there's a way to transition into the image that I've got on my screen.
I like the way he does.
This is the Cosm grail.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, I like it.
if we think about it, we're all cosmic grails filled with God's light, the nectar, the gods. But this has been a kind of seed image for me as I've been envisioning the chapel into being with Allison. And this piece called the Interbeing shows the skull and fetus. For me, the skull and fetus are the symbols of time. We're somewhere between the fetus and the skull. But at every moment, there's the opportunity to realize our timeless essence. And so, here in the Bardo being, you just see another pattern language in a diamond. All of these grail-like heads came as an onslaught of visions and led into another dimension in the net of being. And in this dimension, we're all Godheads, interreflective of each other in an endless chain that goes on in all directions infinitely. We are an infinite God consciousness, and this is my attempt at the portrayal of that magical space. You know, I'm a secret agent for God. And when I'm showing you art, I'm really asking, I want to have a conversation with your subconscious and your superconscious and plant a seed of liberation in your mind stream if possible. So this is an animation of that net of being that was in a Tool video with my good friend Adam Jones. We made it, and it was the first time we sculpted the Cosm Grail, and then infinitized it. I wanted to talk to you about. Oh, hello. Somebody needed to be here. Just like all of us. So, a couple of years ago, I guess it was on March 3rd, 2007, I had a vision. And this was the vision, basically. You see how these little heads down at the bottom are similar to the net of being? Say. And this is a vision where you can see in the sky these kind of profiles. And I figured that these heads, they create this kind of chapel-like space that I've made as little altars. And these are altars to all the different wisdom traditions. They're all part of one great universal spirituality, which nature itself is bringing into being in a way. So it's like when beings come together in oneness, they create sacred space. So this is a kind of a simplified computer model of it, but it shows you it's also in honor of the divine feminine. Okay. So here's the idea. So now you can see this fractal architecture, that it's beings within beings within beings, creating sacred space. There will be elaborate tiling and things over this, but that gives you the main idea. It's also like a lotus. So these are a few views of the first draft of the chapel idea, but you get a good sense of it. Because we're trying to bring the sacred wisdom traditions into dialogue with each other in a visual way. Symbolically, this is seeding the possibility of our getting along. And making something beautiful together, as Allison says. You know, Allison is the source of the sacred mirrors. She inspired them, and she also named the sacred mirrors, so that none of the artworks here would exist without Allison. And I sometimes feel like there's a third force operating through us that brought us together in the first place. Because 50 years ago, the United Church of Christ owned a piece of property, and it was in upstate New York. And one of the things that they said 50 years ago was, we want to build a chapel here. And they carried this dream, but never realized it. So along comes us, who never quit saying, I want to build a chapel. I want to build a chapel. So we built something in New York City, and then this January, after 5 years, we moved up to the country to attempt to build a chapel. So this is 40 acres up in the Hudson Valley, walking distance from a Metro North train. And it's a beautiful wooded piece of property. And I had an idea that when Allison and I went with some friends to Chartres Cathedral some years ago, Chartres is all about the divine feminine. And there's a stained glass that looks like the Madonna and Child we're all familiar with, but